Hello and welcome to round 7 of season 5 of the Dunton Technical Centre Championship. Join us for the NASCAR round. So this is the second visit, I think, of the championship to Blue Moon Bay Speedway. So this is the second edition of the NASCAR round that the guys drive. And basically the format is as per previous rounds, where we have a 15-minute race in the Group 4s and then a 30-minute in the Group 3s. But as it's an oval, it completely changes the game, and the usual pecking order basically gets thrown out the window here because it all comes down to pretty much the strengths and weaknesses of each of the individual cars. There is only one corner that you really truly brake at. There's 3 corners in total. One's first corner is a sharp left-hander, but then the second corner is a flat right-hander, and then the third corner is a little bit of a lift. So it's a very quick track. So anything can happen tonight. I'm looking forward to this because it's could be a bit of a shake-up in the usual championship order. So usual format. The drivers did a one-shot qualifying, which is again a new thing for this season. Last season at the Oval they did an average of 2 flying laps. This one was actually only 1, so they had to nail it on their one and only lap, and that's thrown up a bit of a surprise in the grid. So the usual format is that the top 3 fastest go to the back in reverse order, and we actually had, and that's a pretty rubbish camera view. Can we get it? Yeah, so we actually got Chris Lewis got, I think, his first pole of the season. Let me double check. I'm pretty certain he's not had a pole before. Let's have a look. No, I don't think it's been pretty much shared between Chris Pengelly and Matt Sykes. Yeah, no, I don't think he has. So a great pole for Chris. Now, of course, with the usual rules apply here, that you have to start on the different compounds of your qualifying, and the drivers have the choice of super softs and mediums in the Group 4s. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the qualifying versus race. Obviously, this, as per usual in the Group 4s, they cannot change tyres in the Group 4 race. It's a 15-minute race, and this being oval is quite hard on the tyres, particularly the outside right, being a left anti-clockwise track. So the drivers have had to have a bit of a gamble whether they go with super softs in qualifying and they get a decent qualifying time, and then go to the back but score the extra points for qualifying. So for instance, Chris Lewis gets 4 extra points for being fastest but starts at the rear. Or do they go qualify on the mediums and have, in theory, the quicker super softs, but the super softs might not last. So a real, even more than usual, I think, in tonight's round, there's a real conundrum for the drivers to decide whether they want to go with the quicker super softs in qualifying and then take a flyer and hopefully the slower mediums will come on later in the race, or do they go with the mediums, start off a bit lower down the grid, which is not a bad thing in oval because it'll be a slipstreaming race, this one. So let's see. So if we walk through the grid, so Chris Lewis was fastest in qualifying, so he starts 9th. Then we got Harry, a great performance for him. He was second fastest in qualifying, so he bags 3 points. He starts 8th, and then Dan was. Can't we go to Dan? Why can't we see Dan? There he is. Dan was 3rd quickest, so a good effort from him. That golf is quick, so we'll watch out for him tonight. So he starts 7th, and then our perennial 4th place man, Mike Ross, he's was 4th quickest, so he starts on pole. But for tonight, that's not automatically a good place to start because he's going to be leading the field. So then we've got Chris Pengelly, little GP. He was 5th, which is obviously unusual for him. He's usually 1st or 2nd, but obviously this is very car dominant, so he starts 2nd. Matt Psycho again further down than usual. He's 3rd. Daz is 4th, and we'll try and find a better pitch. There we go. Only STP Beamer. Then Jimmy was 5th. He's in the Hyundai. And Snooze, we can see centre screen, he's 6th. And then we do Dan, Harry and Chris. So, no further ado, let's get going. Let's see what the Slipstream Infest looks like. It was a brilliant race last season, so let's see what happens in race 1. So, 15-minute sprint to the line. Don't forget, fuel stops are allowed, and they probably will have to have a fuel stop because the oval's heavy on fuel, but no tyre changes. If there's a tyre change, you get penalised or have to do another tyre stop. So, usual format, rolling start. Mike in the Subaru will lead us across the line. His mellow yellow Scooby. So, away we go. Let's find a better view. So, Mike will lead him into the first corner. We go across the line. So Mike is first. Let's try and find a better. Here we go. So we go streaming into the first corner. This is quite a tricky first braking zone, especially on the first lap. So into the first corner he goes, taking the leads. We come out the first corner. Then we got Chris Pengelly in second, Matt in third, Daz in fourth. He's got Jimmy already right on his tail. Then we've got a battle going on between Dan and Harry already. Harry's already making a move. Let's have a go on board. Then we can see Harry. He's coming down the inside. Is Harry going to make it? I think he does. Tidy move there, Harry. Very nice. Let's watch from behind him. So he's Dan going to have a go. I think he's probably going to be content just to sit behind him and save some fuel, because there's going to be fuel. But he's making a look around. Let's go on board. So we've got, there's Dan coming alongside us. He's trying to get his bump drafting Alex. So we've already got a bit of bump drafting going on. Interesting this early in the proceedings. So we look back from Dan. This is back from. So this is back from Alex's car. Right, washing out wide. They don't get much downforce, these cars, but they have a little bit. Look at that. Look at the difference in speed. A greater run from Dan coming out. So Alex down to fourth, and we got now a battle between Mike and Little's GP up front. I'm going to run out of voice tonight. This is going to be full on for the entire 15 minutes. You see Chris now is tucked up right behind the Scooby. Chris in the Renault, which is quick. It suffers from tyre wear, but that shouldn't be a problem here. And if we look further back, so we got Matt and Daz, and you can see that already the first two are taking a bit of a lead. They're already pulled clear. Those two have got a good advantage, and they're being sensible. You can see that Chris is sitting right behind Mike, and they're helping each other out. Then you've got Matt and Daz doing the same thing. So let's go on board with Daz. You can see he's right behind the Nissan. Is he going to make a move? I think they're probably helping each other. Let's watch back from Matt's cam. See, they're bump drafting each other. So Daz is trying to help out so they can try and catch the leaders. You can see they're disappearing already. Let's look behind us. So here's the battle for fifth. Again, slipstreaming. It's the way to go on this first round. You want to try and conserve fuel without losing your place in the line. It looks like we've got at least 3 distinct groups formed already, which is interesting. It shows the difference in the cars. So there we go. We've got Jimmy coming across the line. He's in fifth. He's got Dan and Harry all looking for a bit of a tow. While we go up front, so we've still got Mike and Chris doing their thing up front, slipstreaming each other, trying to pull away. They've got a bit of a gap now. Let's go on board with Chris. There we go. You see he's going to give Mike a tap. If we look from there, we can see a boot full of big boy. Chris is going for the inside. He's going to make a move, I think. Let's watch inside. He's going inside. There he goes. He's looking. He backed off a bit, so we can see Chris has backed off a bit. He's deciding he wants to carry on letting Mike do the work, which is understandable because Mike's doing the burning the fuel off. Let's have a look. So you can see, yeah, Chris is already saving fuel. So across the line they go. 5 laps down already. We've hardly started. It's such a quick race, this one. So see what's going on between them. So third again is super tight between them. Daz and Matt trying to work together too. Oh, it looks like Mike probably took a little bit of a chunk of the wall there, and I think that slowed them both down on the front. Yeah, you can see that Matt is catching up quickly here. Let's go on board with Matt. You can see he's catching he's gaining the toe now. So those two had dropped off, but now that little mistake I think from Mike, he probably just touched the wall. That's allowed Matt and Daz to catch right up. So Matt is now in the toe. We go on board with Daz to see what it looks like from Daz's perspective. He's getting the toe from Matt. I think he's going to stay behind and save some fuel. Let's go off, let's have a look at the leader. So they can flash it across the line. The first 4 all together in one big long line. Matt looks like he's going to take a move down the inside. He's got down the inside, so Mike's down to 4th. Is anyone going to touch the walls? They come out and see how close they get to the walls. They come blasting out their first corner. And if we look behind, we've got a similar battle going on for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. And unfortunately, I think who's that dropped off the back? I think that might be Alex has dropped off the back in his bit of a wheezy pug. But let's have a look. So we've got a battle going on here. Look at this. Wow. We've got Chris is actually making a bit of a break in the front. So these three need to work together a bit to get back in the tow. Because otherwise they're squabbling. It's going to let Chris Pengelly get away at the front. I think they're drawing him in. Looks like Mike is catching. Let's go on board with Mike. We've got Daz right behind us. Is he gaining? I think he's been in the game. Look at this. Daz will watch there. Matt's having a little bit of look so you can see the breaking point, but doesn't need to. And you can see actually Matt taking a look. He's going down the inside. Flow out wide, and there's Mike. He's getting a bit of a run from Chris Pengelly. So Mike is probably now beginning to save a bit of fuel. Dan is in. Dan is in. Okay, Dan has decided he's going to make an early stop for fuel. That's interesting. They're not allowed to change tyres, but he's decided to do a very early fuel stop, and Jimmy as well. That might be, in Jimmy's word, a bit of collusion. I think they probably decided we need to stick together and work as a pair so we can get back up again and we can catch them up working together. Let's go to the front again. Now we see here, look at this, what we expected. Little's GP championship leader, he's got Mike, Daz and Matt right behind him as they go through their first corner. It's a tricky corner. You can see Chris is definitely quicker through there, gets a bit of an advantage, and then Mike is slow, drops off him a little bit. We go on board with Mike. See, yeah, Chris is definitely starting to pull away, but then Mike just pulls him back. Tyre wear starting to creep up a little bit on the right front. I'm surprised that Dan and Jimmy have gone in that early, but I think Chris is getting a little bit out of shape there. Daz has gone a little bit wide. He's gone a little bit wide, but Matt is not quite close enough to take advantage. And Mike's got in. Mike has also gone in. It's only after 8 laps. The tyres were looking good. Now they brought tyres out, but that is only, I hope, in case he's got a puncture. He should not be fueling. Should not be tyre changing, only fuel. So interesting. So as we go back to the front, as we like to say, Chris is still leading. Let's have a look. So his fuel, he's got over a quarter. Daz has got only an 1/8 left. Matt is similar. So Little's GP, not only is he out front, but he's actually saved quite a lot of fuel working with Mike. So this is going to be interesting when they come in for the stops. And then we've got Chris, again the master of fuel. He's got half a quarter of a tank. And then I reckon Harry will be in this lap. He might make another lap, but he'll probably be in. He looks like he started on mediums as well. So he obviously went for super softs in qualifying. He's on mediums, which could pay off as the softs start to go. So back to the front, and it looks like so Daz is in too, and Harry both coming in. The Daz is on his super softs, starting to go, but they look not too bad. Harry's also coming in, his mediums, looking a bit better. Here comes the tidy Lexus against the STP. But so tonight's races, all the drivers were asked to go with a classic NASCAR livery, so you can see that's why these cars look so brilliant. There's Matt in the Nissan, the Valvoline Nissan. So these two, Matt will be coming in. Chris has got a load of fuel left. His tyres don't look too bad as well. In fact, Chris is looking for once better than Matt's. Matt's in. Matt comes in. Bang on halfway. Matt's on his super softs. Whoa, he really stretched it out. He had 1 litre left. That's pretty close. So in comes Chris as well. So let's see what's going on. So snooze. So Mike is in 5th, but he's still ahead of Daz, and he's actually got a bit of a lead. And then we've got Jimmy and Dan, who have actually done quite well at that. They've dropped Harry, so they were battling. So them stopping together has actually done them. That's worked out really well because they're working together now. But they pulled clear of Harry, and as long as they don't make any mistakes, they've dropped Harry. So Chris is still going out in front, coming across end of lap 11. He's probably got another lap in that yet. Snooze is up to 12, up to 2nd. He's going well as well. He's doing 51.4s. He's unfortunately a bit of a second off that Peugeot. He's a bit asthmatic now. It seems a bit slow on the top end. Looks great though. So he's in second. So Mike is going to come in. He's now third, but he's going to be a net second. But I don't know if he's got enough fuel. So Matt and Daz have come out together. So this time Matt is playing some of the Matt. So Matt's now trying to work with Daz, trying to catch up. The roles reversed from the first stint, if you like. Looks like Matt's going to make a move down the inside. Let's have a watch. Yeah, there he goes. There's Daz. He's now got Matt in front of him. So that's Mike in front. Mike's quite a long way. So in comes Chris out of the lead. He played that to perfection. Look at that. He's got 0 fuel left. That must have been a bit of a heart in mouth moment when he came in the pits. So in comes the Renault. And of course, then this means he will have the least fuel to put in. So this is going to be a quick stop. So Mike is just coming around the last corner. Chris is rolling now, just coming out. So where's he going to come out? Mike is going to be... Chris is coming out. There he comes. Where is Mike? Where is Mike? There's Mike. So Chris is in the lead. Not by much though. There's Mike coming in behind him. So there's not that much in it. But probably enough. I'm not sure Chris is going to have... let's have a look. It's a rubbish camera. Let's see the gap. I think he's got a bit of a decent gap. He has indeed. Yeah, see Mike is going. Mike's going into the second corner. So I think first and second are pretty much nailed on. Third and fourth, no idea. Look at these two still towing with each other. And then Chris is now in a bit of a gap on his own. But then we've got Dan and Jimmy still towing each other. I think they're beginning to close on Chris. And actually, then Harry as well. He's not doing bad there. So Dan and Jimmy are doing mid-50s. Harry's doing mid-50s as well, and Harry's on his own, which is interesting. And Harry's also, if you look at the tyres, the safety tyres pretty well, whereas Jimmy in front of him is on mediums and starting to get a bit knackered. Dan's on mediums as well, and they're starting to get a little bit more knackered as well. Jimmy looks like he's going to make a move down the inside. Let's go on board with Dan. There we go. Oh, Jimmy just thought better of it. Where is he? There he is, right behind us. Now, they won't be saving fuel, I doubt, unless they've under fuel, which is a bit rash. This Harry is closing. That Hyundai is pulling these guys in. You can see from the back. So there we can see we've got Jimmy right behind us, saving a bit of fuel bump drafting, which is good stuff. But then we've got Harry is closing, and these two are side by side. So Jimmy's decided, right, I'm going to take the lead now. Dan nudges the wall, but he's not too far behind. And if we look at Harry, he's definitely closing. We can see we've got the effect of the toe coming up. That Hyundai's getting close, and then you better start watching your mirrors. Given he's caught these guys up and they've been bump drafting each other. Oh, Jimmy just nudges the wall. That could be trouble. Let's go on board with Jimmy. Here comes Harry. Getting a decent toe now. Is he going to sit behind him and bump draft? No, he's not. He's going to go past. There he goes. There he goes. Past we go. He's going to get Dan as well. Is he going to get Dan? I think he is. Does both of them. A little bit of braking going in there. Dan brakes a little bit too hard. I think for Jimmy. Jimmy thinks, oh no, I didn't need that. But line the stern now. Dan's going to be sitting in this. Go on board with Dan. We've got Jimmy right behind us. We've got Harry right in front. I think this is the battle at the moment. I think everyone else is a bit far away. Dan's just, I know he's giving Harry a little bit of a bump. We got anyone inside us? Just like, alright, no. Oh, it's gone a bit wide, a little bit of a nudge. I think Jimmy came off worse as well. Let's go back, let's have a look at what's going on between third and fourth. So these two again. Now this is going to start getting strategic between these two. It gets to the point where I think you don't want to be leading on the last, you want to be second on the last lap. You don't really want to be leading. Daz has gone a bit wide, and they've got to watch out as well. So Chris Lewis has caught these two up as well. So we could have a three-way battle for third here. Let's have a look at what's going on. So Chris is flying. His tyres are looking a bit ropey, but not too bad. Mike is starting to run low on fuel. You compare him to get Chris. Chris has got, just over an eighth of the tank. Mike is beginning to run on fumes, and I think He's starting, yeah, he's starting to lift. Yeah, there we go. Look, clearly he's lifting now. He's starting to coast. I think this could be a battle for second. You can see Mike is watching him. He's fully pinned there, but he's coming out a little bit slower than the other. Yeah, look at the speed difference. High 150s. Mike is there. He's really cruising. Let's go on board with Matt. Can we see Mike? We've got Daz behind us, still sitting in our toe. Mike's getting closer. Getting closer. And Chris is trying to catch as well. Let's have a look, see what else is going on. So 6th, 7th, 8th are still in the battle as well. They're not that far behind. Chris has kind of walked off with this one. He's on his final lap now. Keep an eye on what's going on with him. But Mike, I think, is in trouble. I think Mike is in trouble. That's where's Matt. That's a rubbish camera. So we got Daz right behind Matt. Who is going to take this last? I don't know who to watch here. So we got Chris is going to come across the line any second. But then we got Mike, and Mike is already slowing down. So it looks like Matt and Daz have gone past. So Chris comes across the line for a great win. Well done, Chris. I don't think he expected that one, so he's done really well there. Well done, a fantastic win. And Matt, he's going to come across for second. It looks like, yeah, he's got the... Daz didn't quite be able to pull it off. So Matt gets a second right on the line. Daz third. Great third from Daz. Then Mike, look, he's just cruising across the line. Oh, it was so close. And then Chris just holds off Harry for 5th and 6th. And then, let's make sure we get the pause on here. We don't... go too long. I think Snooze is a little bit further away. There comes Snooze, so we'll pass that. And he actually passed Jimmy. Jimmy is running out of fuel as well. What is going on with Jimmy? Look, he's out of fuel right on the last lap. So a nightmare for Jimmy right at the end. So what a first race of the night. I thought there'd be action, and there was. So a great win there for Chris Pengelly. I'm not sure he expected to win in the Renault on the oval, but he pretty much dominated that. 9 seconds up in the end. So a good second for Matt. He might have thought that Nissan might have been a little bit stronger, but it eats its tyres a little bit, so he'll be pleased with second. And he had a race-long battle with Daz, fantastic battle with Daz, who finished less than 2/10 behind him. Couldn't quite get him at the end, but a good third. And then Mike, he was second for so long. He was leading for a long time as well. But he just ran out of fuel. I think that early stop was a little bit too early. But he comes across 4th. Then Chris, who looked like he was on for probably joining the battle for what ended up being 2nd, but he finishes 5th in the end. Maybe he was running a bit short as well. I think the stewards have looked at a little incident between him and Harry, and they felt Chris was the perpetrator, so that in the actual standings those two have swapped. So Harry finishes 5th and Chris 6th. So it was a good recovery from Harry. He was a long way off the back at the end, and a great battle then with Dan and Jimmy. So Dan finishes 7th. Snooze, I don't think he could do much with that Peugeot. He finishes 8th, and then Jimmy was looking good for the battle for what ended up being 5th, and he finished 9th. So the battle for the team championship, that won't have done Matt and Jimmy's team any good at all. So great first race, and we'll go through the championship whilst the next race is loading up. So, and Chris Pengay took your fastest lap. So maximum points from the race from Chris. So a cracking first race. Let's now go to the Group 3s. Group 3s, again, usual format. You start in reverse grid order, rolling start. So Jimmy will be on pole. Which again for the oval is not always a good thing, and they have to use 2 different compounds of tyre as per usual, but no limit on which compounds they want to use. This one does feature reduced fuel consumption compared to usual, because the ovals just eat the fuel. They'll be stopping every couple of laps otherwise, so it's slightly reduced fuel consumption, but it's pretty much on a par to what it is normally. So, whilst we wait for the grid to line up, let's have a quick recap on the scores. So, quick grid. So, Jimmy on pole, Snooze 2nd, Dan 3rd, Harry 4th, Chris Lewis 5th, Mike Ross 6th, Daz 2nd. Let's pause it before we get going. And we'll get to Jimmy on pole, get rid of those. So, if we look at the grid, so Jimmy on pole, Snooze 2nd, Dan 3rd, Harry 4th, Chris 5th, but said they actually swapped post races. Penalties are applied after the races, so in actual fact Harry should have started behind Chris if that wasn't the case, but all the penalties are post the second race. And then you've got Mike in 6th, Dad's a good podium in 7th for first race, Matt Psycho in 8th, and then our championship leader Chris in 9th. A quick recap of the points. So it's very tight at the top. Chris has got a little bit of a lead. They were equal after round 5. After round 6, Chris has taken a little bit of a lead. So he's on 286 versus Matt's 281, but still nothing to play. Nothing between them. 6 races in. We will start doing the drop scores after tonight's round because they do only count the best 8 of 10. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, very close between first and second. Chris Lewis a little bit on his own in 3rd now, 231. But say drop scores do start coming in soon, so that gap isn't quite as big as it might seem. Then Mike's in 4th on 210. Then we've got Jimmy on 179, Dan on 164, and Harry on 159. So very close, but with drop scores, actually at the moment Harry's in front of those in 5th, but still very close. Then you've got Alex 119, then Darren and Jam bringing up the rear, but they've missed quite a few races. So the championship for the teams is looking very tight. You've got Matt and Jimmy on 460, and then you've got Chris and Dan on 450. And given Chris and Dan both had good results in that first race, it's probably more likely that Chris and Chris Pengelly and Dan are now leading the teams. Very close though for first and second. Similarly for 3rd and 4th, we've got Harry and Mike on 369 and Chris, Lewis and Alex on 350. So all to play for in the championship for the teams as well. So back we go to the grid. Here we go, 30 minutes this time. Hopefully the voice will hold out. Let's see what the guys come up with this time. So Jimmy will lead him off. Rolling start. Feel free to add any comments in the comments section on YouTube. Whilst you're watching. So let's see what happens here. Same liveries. What is that? McDonald's liveried Hyundai for Jimmy. Away we go. Jimmy's on the softs. So he head into the first corner. We've got Snooze in 2nd. Then we go down. We've got Dan in 3rd. It looks like Harry's already starting to think about lining up the VW, but not quite. Then Chris is in 5th. Mike in 6th. Look at that, he comes flying past. Daz in 7th in his lovely STB Beamer. Matt 8th in his Valvoline Nissan. And then Chris in 9th in his DuPont Renault. Right, so Jimmy into the first last corner. Coming up to the finish end of that one, he's got Chris Snooze hanging on to the back of him quite nicely. Then we look what's going on in the Porco. See, we go already, we're starting to see the carnage. This is what we thought might happen. The Group 4s actually didn't do this too much, but you can see that they're already 3 abreast going into the first turn as they come out, end of lap 1. And we've got already, look at this, they're all in a line. So you've got Daz there with a train of cars behind him. Let's go on board with Dan. So we've got cars behind him. What's going on behind? Let's have a look with Matt. So we've got Matt there, he's got Dan to his right, and he's trying to hang on to the end. We've got Chris to our left. It's like a song. Right behind us. There's falls everywhere. So Chris has decided he's going to sit in the toe of Matt. So let's go up front, up a couple of places here. They all pile into this first corner. Scream around, look at that for a view. We've got a comment, that's it. Get involved, people. Next one. So Matt is now making a look down the inside of Daz. Let's go on board with Daz. So we've got Matt down the inside. Valvoline Nissan, looks like Matt's making a move. Oh, a little bit rubbing the race in there between the pair of them. Matt backs out of it, decides better of it. Let's have a look now. So we've got Matt right behind us. A little bit touching the wall. Here we go. So it's Matt's view. He's decided he's going to bump draft. We've got Chris right behind us as well. So it looks like they're all bump drafting each other. So we we go into the first turn, and look at this, they're all together, 3 abreast. They come round the first corner. So Chris has gone down the inside, then Matt's decided to go down the inside of him. Look at this. Oh, this is crazy stuff. This is why we love the NASCAR. I was going forward with Matt. So we've got Chris inside us, and then we've got Daz inside. So Daz is getting the tow from the Renault in front of him. And then we've got, so Matt has been bundled down 3 places in the space of 1 straight. But you can see here, look at this. So Dan had a little bit of a knock there, so Matt's decided to go down the inside. And then here he goes, but he's not in the tow, whereas Dan's in the tow. But that's not a bad thing. Matt goes down to last, but that isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world, the place to be at the moment. So into the first corner we go. So Jimmy's gone a little bit wide. So he's got again 3 abreast as they come out the first corner. And look at this, they're all together. They come screaming down the straight. The whole bunch of them, right, let's try and get in the middle of it all. So this is what Daz can see. Slightly on their own, we got a lot of bumping and boring. I see getting this action in the middle. Look at this. Cars all over the place. Cars all over the place. Anyone down the inside? No, there's no one down the inside. So Mike, he's got right behind him. He's got about 4 or 5 cars. Let's go back outside as they come screaming down the pit straight at the end of lap 5 already. 5 laps down, and there's nothing to choose. Look at this. They're all coming into the first corner. That's one big pack. This is pack racing. That is absolutely fine. There's about a second covering the entire field. Let's take a look. So Snooze is still hanging in there. So this Group 3 Peugeot is obviously doing a lot better than the Group 4. So come look at this. This is phenomenal stuff. Going around all together as one. And they're all side by side. All jostling for position. Let's try and get a better picture here. Look at that. Look at that. All coming around. There's a bit of nudging going on, but I think we're all good. Let's get him put board there with Chris. He's towards the end of the pack, so we've got Harry just going past. So they're going to the first corner. That's Daz just going past. It goes on the brakes, so we've got. Oh, Daz did a very late piece of braking there. They do have to brake into the first corner. And I think Chris has decided to back off a bit. It's going to be a bit of tactical in this game, so you can save a bit of fuel. So Snooze is up front, he's leading them. He's leading them again like he was in the first race. Snooze is having a look down the inside, gets a bit down the apron, but I think he's going to do it, but then it looks like Mike's going down the inside as well, so the 3 abreast. 4 abreast, because Harry's trying to get on the outside. No, it's Jimmy trying to get on the outside. Oh, they're all still together. Look, absolutely phenomenal. This is 7 laps in, and I reckon there's a second between them. Let's go. Who should we go on board with? Let's go on board with Dan. Is Dan in the mix of it all? Yeah, we've got Daz inside us. He come out, he gets a good run, but he's probably going to back off a bit. Oh no, he's decided he's going to go past. No, we've got Daz right behind us. They begin to get a bit sensible, just follow the leader, or are they? So where's Daz gone? Daz is there. There's Daz, just snuck down the inside of us. He's going to hit 190 on the back straight in the toe. Or Daz is making a nice move. So Daz is deciding he's going to move up a little bit now. Let's go on board with Daz. So he's getting a toe from the mellow yellow Days of Thunder Scooby. He's going past him. Oh, camera, so he's going past, but there's no one there, so Mike's going down the inside though. There goes Mike. So they're just dicing all over the place. We've got Jimmy right behind us, and then we come out, let's go outboard. So we've got Jimmy, then we've got Dan. I mean, it's pretty much pointless looking at the order because it's changing so much. So they go around the, where are they? Penultimate corner, end of lap 9. See what they're doing with fuel, so let's take a little bit of stock. So Chris is still leading. Peugeot's good on fuel, so he's not looking too bad. Snooze is looking very good actually. Peugeot's looking great. Look at fly past the start and finish line to go into lap 10. This is why we love the NASCAR round. Looking fantastic. So Mike is making a bit of a move. They come down the back straight. So he's going to try and make a move. So his fuel's not looking too bad, but the pugs is looking good. Beamer's not, he's looking pretty solidly average. And Matt is going for a move down the inside there of Jimmy, the 2 teammates. The Nissan's good on fuel. You can see actually Matt's doing alright. That's Chris actually. Chris is doing very well as well. There's Harry, he's looking great on fuel. So Hyundai I think he's in. He's doing, actually no, he's in the Lexus, that's doing brilliantly. Dan's not looking too bad. Let's have a look at Matt. Matt's not looking too, all fairly similar. In fact, Harry's looking the best. So as they go into the first corner, again, line astern, 3 abreast, they come out. Chris is still leading, but there's nothing to choose between them. Let's go on board with Daz. We got Mike right behind us. You gonna make a move down the outside? No, there he goes. Styles it past. It goes on the high side. But Daz, that beam has got a lot of grunt, so it looks like Mike is behind us. He's not coming past us. There he is. He's coming down the inside. He's gonna make a move. So Mike's going in. Mike's going in, and so is the Peugeot. So interesting. We've got Daz now takes the lead. What's up to Chris Pengelly? Pengelly coming as well. Yes, he has. So the leader has come in already. Decided to get rid of those super softs. What will he put on? Interesting ploy. So it looks like it's going to be a 3-stop race. They're doing sort of 11 10s. So he's filling up. So is Snooze. Fuel, actually, Snooze's fuel looked very good. Well, Snooze could be, he's filled it right up. Whereas, okay, Chris has only put in just over 3/4 of the tank. Snooze has gone long. Interesting. So Daz is in now as well. So we've got all the pitters coming in. Meanwhile, Matt, Psycho, and Chris. Look at that. Chris is welled into the back end of the Valvoline Nissan. So they're going for a bit longer, these two. They've still got a bit of fuel. There we go. You can see on the back of Matt's car, and Chris is giving them a good kick. They're bump drafting each other, trying to get away, these two. They could be working together. They could be working together. Spectacular shots here. So they've actually pulled a little bit of a gap to Harry. So are the two leaders going to come in end of this lap? If they come in together, and they are, Matt's in and Chris is in as well, so coming in together, the pair of them. So I think those two are trying to work together. Be interesting when they come out. Harry's in as well. Harry had a lot more fuel on board, so his stop's going to be quicker. It all depends on how long a stint they're going to do. So there's Chris. He's got the fastest lap so far, but 43 dead. It's hard to tell really, because that's everyone's towing each other. But he's probably now our leader. Matt isn't even rolling yet. It's Dan. So where are we coming out? So trying to pick up. So there goes Littles. Chris has come out in second. So Chris has jumped Matt. Chris is full, and Matt isn't. Interesting. So Chris has taken on more fuel, yet has jumped Matt. And in the back we've got Jimmy, Harry, Snooze and Daz, and Mike, and Dan, I think, all together. Oh, Dan's dropped off a little bit. Hopefully he can catch it up. It's going to be hard. It's a bit like a peloton in cycling. And once you get off the back, you won't catch it back up. But we've got these 4, 5 are flying together. Now, if they're sensible, they will work together and try and catch Matt up in front of him. So let's see what they do. So Harry's now in 4th. Let's go on board. Is anyone going to make a move? It looks like they're all content to sit on his bumper at the moment. Yes, they are. But it looks like Snooze might go down the inside. Inside's better of it. They need to make sure they don't slow each other down. Look at this though, crazy racing again. We got down a little bit off the back, but he's trying to catch up. But so they come into the flat out second corner, all together jostling for position. Who should we go on board with? Let's go on board with Daz. And Mike down inside. Snooze sticks one down the inside, as he loves to do. There we go. So we got Snooze on our outside. They come flying down this main straight. And Snooze is getting a bit of a tow from Mike in front of him. So Snooze takes the position back. His Dad's going to make a move down the inside. There's Snooze. We come back round, following Snooze in our camera. Oh, Snooze is trying to punch a hole, but there's a BMW in the way. But they're not really pulling Matt in. In fact, Matt has caught up with Chris. Let's go on board up front. So Matt has managed to catch Chris up, and Matt has done a 42.9. So that Nissan is fast. It's got very good top end, and it's good on its fuel. So this is going to be interesting. Matt's decided. I think he's going to go past Chris. I think he's decided he's probably maybe a little bit quicker, so it might make sense for Matt to take the lead going into the first corner, get that good exit, and then he can tow Chris back up to him. Oh, I can see in the background Harry made a slight mistake, hit the wall, and Mike's gone past him. Slight nudge, but it's okay. If you're in the group, it's okay. You can catch back up. The toe is so powerful here. So Snooze is having a great race in 5th. He's got Harry all over the back of him, but he's having a great race. He's got on board with Snooze. He's late on the brakes going through there. Oh, that's going to wash out wide. Not quite. We've got Harry coming right behind us. That's looking through the bumper. Is Harry going to make a move and come down the... oh, he's going for it. No, he's not. No, he's not. Decided to think better of it as they go into the first corner. And it looks like Dan, I think, is catching these guys up. He's not far behind them now. He can probably, yeah, he can see them. So I'm thinking another couple of laps. I'm doing 43.8s. Not much slower than the guys in front of him. So I think he can probably catch these guys up. So let's stay on Harry for a bit. Harry's going to make a move. I don't think they're really catching the guys in front, but this is very. There's still, probably another 2 stints after this one, so they're all probably being quite cagey in saving fuel. Harry's doing a great job on his fuel. They're coming into the 18 laps down already. We're not far halfway. Snoo's got half a tank. Harry's got a little bit more. Mike's got half. Daz has got half. Jimmy's got half, and Dan's got half. Look at the tyres. Yeah, so Jimmy decided not to change his tyres in the first pit stop. Interesting, and he's probably regretting that now because his tyres are starting to get a bit squirmy. Probably saved himself 4 or 5 seconds by doing it, but he runs the risk of being dropped off the pack. And you can see here that Harry's leading his pack. They go screaming across the line, 19 laps down. These guys are trying. It looks like they're trying to catch Chris up front because Matt has dropped Chris. That is interesting. Matt has dropped Chris, and Matt is going after Chris Payne getting the lead. Matt did a 43.1, and Chris did 43.1, so as usual, he's 2. That's just absolutely nose to tail in terms of times. So I'm looking at the tyres. Chris is on the super softs, so is Matt, but Matt's looking a bit better. Obviously, Chris, I think, yeah, Chris came in slightly earlier. His fuel's, but Matt's got a real fuel advantage here. Real fuel advantage. So you've got to say Matt is looking at the moment. He's a little bit off, in terms of time. He's not that far behind, and he's got a lot more fuel, which means his stop will be quite a lot shorter. So Chris in 3rd. He's got half a tank though. He's saving his fuel, and then we've got the crazy punch. Still battling away. So we've got right behind us. We've got Mike and Daz bump drafting each other. Daz's going to make a move down the inside. Let's have a look. There we go. Snooze outside of us. There comes Daz. The Beamer decided he's going to make a move and take a bit of Snooze's slipstream. And then we give Harry gives him just a little love tap. So I'm right behind you, Get a move on, catch up to that Peugeot. There we're walking back now from Daz's Beamer. SDP Richard Petty. Look at that, he's even got Richard Petty on the rear wing. Didn't notice that. Look at that. We've got the tiny Lexus behind us. Let's go on board now with Harry. We've got Mike right behind us, and all bump drafting each other. They're going to take a run. So Daz decides he's going to take it on. Harry, I think he's going to just sit behind the Peugeot. It's saving fuel. He's probably got that in the lower power mode as well, trying to save a bit more fuel as well. So the second stop will be. They might decide that the second stop. We go past the Peugeot. They might decide the second stop is again similar to the first, that they try and top up as much as they can, but save a bit of fuel in the second and third stints, and then nail it for the fourth stint and just put as much little fuel as you need. But by saving fuel, you're doing a quicker pit stop. And we haven't noticed, once I've been ramping on, Chris looks like he's gone for his second stop. And he hasn't fueled up that much as well. He's only got 3/4 of a tank. So he might be wanting to stretch that out. This is going to be interesting. So we've got Matt who's leading, and then we've got Chris who's actually been caught now. So the Crazy gang have caught up second place. And Dan is still a little bit off the back there, but this is working out really well for Daz. So Daz has managed to leapfrog, I say leapfrog the guys behind him, but no, Snooze is still in there, so is Jimmy. Dan's now up to 6th. Mike is now stopping. And that's, so that, again, an interesting one. He didn't fuel for the stint, he had fuel on board. So he's probably going for a slightly shorter stop. And then we've got Jimmy, who's now a lap behind the leader, but he has stopped. He's gone for mediums, interesting. I have to use 2 different compounds, don't forget. So Matt is going in now. Literally on vapours. That was probably a squeaky bum time going in there. Was he going to make it? So in comes Matt. What will he do here? He's got no fuel. Will he do a little bit of a splash and dash to try and gain track position in front of... So Daz is taking the lead. Let's watch Matt and then we'll watch... So everyone's coming in now, pretty much together. So we've got Little's GP, he's just coming across the line now. So Matt is rolling. I think Little's GP is going to have him. Yeah, there we go. So Matt comes out, probably in net where they were. Whereas Little's GP now has got 2/3 of a tank, Matt's got 3/4. So that advantage in terms of fuel that Matt had has been eroded to a degree, but he's still got an overlap in terms of fuel. Can Chris make it last so that they come out for the last stint together on fuel? Here comes Daz, so the S5 leader. His rear right was looking a bit knackered, but I think the race, I don't know, it's still only just over halfway really, so a long way to go yet. So Chris comes across the line in first. Matt isn't far behind. Daz hasn't rolled yet, so Matt is now clear in second. So the 2 title protagonists have managed to get themselves up the front again. So all the slipstreaming of the first dozen laps or so, these 2 are now broken clear. Unless they make mistakes, they're probably clear now. Mike is now up to 3rd, so he's just past Daz. Daz has just come out of the pits in 4th. And then we've got Harry and Chris. So Chris was in 3rd for a long time, he's now dropped down to 6th, but they're quite close together. And then Snooze and Dan's managed to catch up the field, and then you got Harry off the back on his mediums. He's probably sorry, Harry, I don't know what to call him, Harry. Jimmy off the back in the on the mediums, so he's still got quite a lot of fuel on board, but Dan's got quite a lot, and Snooze has, so they're probably working together. Dan again, another one who's decided not to take the fresh set of tyres to gain that extra little bit of time in the stop, so he's caught up Snooze because he didn't change tyres. Interesting. His US Air Force Beetle. Look at some of his livery showing they look amazing. So there's Snooze in his Kellogg's liveried Peugeot. Looking very nice indeed. Then we got, I think there's a Monsters Inc. Supra of Chris Lewis, tied to the back of our tidy Lexus from Harry. Another beautiful livery. I think he won the, he might have won the livery competition. There is a livery competition as well. So Mike is mellow yellow, so he's Tom Cruise mellow yellow. And the bonus point if you can name Tom Cruise's character in Days of Thunder. So Daz in his Richard Petty tribute STP. Mike nudged the wall a little bit there. I wonder if now, if we go, I think he's going to be in trouble, that he might have lost, yeah, he might have lost the toe from Daz, and he's now going to get the 2 behind him to catch him up. Cold Trickle, by the way, was the answer to that question, if you didn't know. So what can Harry do? He's having a good race. There he goes, so we're going to go past Mike as they come down. And oh, Chris gave a lovely nudge. That was nice of Chris. So we've got Chris who's decided he's going to go past. Yes, he has. We look behind for the bumper cam and then from the roof cam. Yeah, lovely nudge there. Put Harry past. So Mike's down to 6th. So that one little mistake he made has dropped him to 6th, but that's not that bad a place to be. He's still off the back of the 2 in front. So come round the, so this is lap 29, so we're screaming through the laps here. So everything to play for in terms of 3rd, 4th and 5th at the moment, because Daz isn't far ahead of them. Let's see what's going on at the front. So Chris is still leading. He's fuel's not looking too bad, but Matt is still better on fuel, but it's not a huge difference. It looks like, I think Chris is trying to eke this out. He's doing 43.2s, so is Matt though. Look at that, identical lap times, almost to the 10th, the pair of them. These two are so close together. I think this championship's going to go down all the way down to the wire. I think Matt's got the slight car advantage, and this one is better on fuel, and it's better on his tyres, and it's got more grunt. But Chris is just driving beautifully this season in the very fast but slightly temperamental Renault. So he did a 43.2, Matt did a 43.2. Nothing between them. These two lapping beautifully. So Daz comes across the line in third. He's just done a 43.5, so he's a little bit off the pace of the guys in front. And so these guys are broken up a little bit. Chris is now a little bit of a gap to Harry. He's broken away a little bit. Harry is now got Mike in close attendance, and then Snooze has dropped off a little bit, but he's not that far behind. Jimmy is now, I think he's going to struggle to catch up from there, and Dan's in. So Dan has decided he's had enough of those tyres, and he's probably going to do a 13-lap sprint to the end. Oh, yes he has, there we go, so he's full tanks, so he's going to go to the end. Chris is now running on vapour. Matt's still got a quarter of a tank, just under, but Chris has got the high ground in terms of position. So what are we going to see from the two leaders? You know, look at the lap times, they're, you know, barely more than a tenth apart. Chris is trying to eke this out, so he's going to do an 11-lap stint. Matt can go a bit longer yet, so his stop's going to be shorter. What can he do? His tyres aren't looking too bad. Will he take a punt? So Chris is in. Well, Chris's tyres, you can see, were looking pretty sketchy. Matt's are looking not bad. Will he take a punt here? And given his tyres are looking okay, to actually say, right, I'm going to risk it and try and make this ground up in the pits. Oh, look how close he got to the wall there, and not put new tyres on. That will be a gamble, but it might gain him track position. So second place now is Daz. He's pulled a little bit away from Chris, and then we've got battle on for. So we've got Harry, Mike, and Alex having a great battle here for fourth. And Alex, let's go on board with Alex, he's having a much better race. He's enjoying these Group 3s much more than the Group 4s. He's well in this battle now. You know, into the last quarter of the race, and we don't know who's going to finish. Certainly going to finish fourth. I think this is probably the battle on the track at the moment. What we're doing in terms of fuel. He's lifting and coasting a bit. No, he's bump drafting. Dangerous to do that into the first corner where they're broken. Oh, jumped out the fourth there. I'll get back on the power, tyres starting to grumble a bit. Mike is towing him along, so let's have a look. So Mike, I think probably didn't do a tyre stop either, so there's quite a few of them not tyre stopping. Interesting, his tyres are looking pretty knackered, so he'll be pleased to get rid of those. His fuel's looking alright. Same with Snooze, and Matt's in. Right, so Matt is in, key pit stop. 1 litre left. He timed that beautifully. Let's have a look, see where. So Chris is down in 7th. Three-quarters of a tank left. He hasn't filled it up. Where is Matt? Let's see what happens between these two. Matt is rolling. Where is Chris? Let's try and find Chris. Oh, it's really hard to find him. There's Matt. He's come out. Where is Chris? Matt has jumped him. Matt has jumped in, there we go, Chris can see him. Matt has jumped him, and Matt has not changed tyres. He decided to gamble, he decided to try and make up that probably 3 or so second lead on Chris by, I mean, he's a little bit, I mean, he had less fuel, but he obviously felt that even though he was going to have a shorter stop on fuel, that he probably wouldn't make up the difference on the stop itself. There wasn't enough delta in the fuel to actually get within Chris's toe. So he decided to gamble, throw the dice and say, right, I'm not going to put fresh tyres on and I'll see if I can hang on to it. You see, Matt has still got actually more fuel than Chris, so Chris has got to save a bit of fuel and try and catch. We see he's not far away now. So battle for 6th between Daz and Chris. That's going to be a net battle for 3rd, I think. Let's have a look. So Harry's leading. He's not going to be stopping for a little while yet, and he's got So Mike and Alex are now second and third, but they're still battling away. Mike's fuel's not looking great, and Sue's, they're both coming in, so battle of the pit crews now. Who is going to come out quicker? I think it's probably Mike's got a little bit more fuel on board, but there's nothing in it. This is going to be tight. We'll watch. So Harry's flying away, but he's going to have to stop again. So he's doing a good round job in first. Matt in second, and Chris. I think Chris is closing on him. You know, Matt's just done a 43.4, which is 2 tenths or so slower than he was going. He's already 2 tenths down though. Chris is doing 43.2s on his fresh tyres. Matt's on super softs as well. This is going to be tight. There's 6 laps to go. The end of this one. Matt's already half a second down. Those tyres are starting to wilt. Harry's in. Let's see where Harry comes out. He's probably going to be about 4th or 5th. And Chris is catching Matt. Let's have a look at the lap times. Chris does a 43.3. Matt does a 43.4, so there's nothing in it. And Chris is getting slow. He's getting close to the toe now. He won't need to gain much more. And Matt's in trouble with his tyres, so let's watch how this pans out. So Chris is now in 3rd, but he's got Dad behind him. And Harry's coming in 5th, so Harry's coming out 5th, and then we've got a battle coming in. So Mike, and who's going to come out of this? So Harry's just come out, his tyres are cold. We've got Mike who's right behind him, and then we've got Snooze right behind us as well. So what can Mike do? Harry, I think, has got this for the time being, but Mike's right on his tail. Then we've got Snooze right behind us. Let's go on board with Alex, see what he can see. We've got Mike right in front of us, and then they both caught up Harry. So Harry probably thought he's going to jump the pair of them. Didn't quite make it. Let's have a look at fuel. So Harry's got half a tank. Mike's got just over a 1/3, and so is Snooze. So look at his nose to tail. So we're 29 minutes into the race, 39 laps gone, and we've still got them empty nose to tail. But something was going on at the front. So Matt is still hanging on. I mean, he's still lapping within a couple of tenths of what he was. So the gamble's probably worth it. But Chris now he's in the toe now. I think Matt, he was obviously hoping he could. So he did a 43.6 that time. You can see his rear right is starting to go. He's probably having to slow down a bit more than he wanted, so the gamble was worth a try. But it hasn't. He's so close to the end as well. So there's only 4 laps to go, and Chris is on him. Chris is on him. He's catching up. There we go. There we go. He's on him now. He's totally caught him up in the toe. Is he going to swing past him? I think Matt's still got fastest lap, you know, but I think Chris is going to get it. He's got a really good toe. So I think he's just going to rub salt in Matt's wound. So he's Chris caught him up. I think he's about to take his fastest lap away from him. Yes, he does. Yes, he does, boy. And Chris has gone for the lead. So Chris has decided he's not going to hang around. He's gone for the lead. Has he gone a bit too soon? There's still 3 laps to go. Can Matt hang on to him in his tyres? So someone look, Matt is right glued on his tail. Give him a little bit of a bump draft. Has Chris gone a bit too early? Matt's going to have a look. No, I think he's going to say, right, I'm just trying to, even though my right rear is gone, I'm going to try and hang on to you. Has Chris got a little bit too early as Matt? He's looking down the inside. Oh, a little bit of a nudge there. Matt just says, I'm still here, you know, you haven't got rid of me. Still going to sit on your tail. Let's just quickly see what's going on elsewhere. So we've got a battle for 3rd between Daz and Chris. We've got a battle for 5th between Harry, Mike and Snooze. Let's look further down. So Dan's a little bit on his own, so is Jimmy. So we got 3 battles, and Matt's gone back into the lead. Matt has gone back into the lead, so we missed that. Let's just rewind that and see what happened there. So it looks like Matt decided he wasn't going to sit around and just watch Chris pull away. He's going to try and take control. So I think we saw this. There's a little bit of contact. Yeah. I don't think Chris quite got that. Matt was just overlapping a little bit. As Matt's no fuel saving now. He's decided, I'm going to take the lead. You're going to have to work hard for this one. You might have fresher tyres. Chris tries to stay on the outside, but no. Matt does him. Chris is right behind us now. Go on board with Chris. Got the Nissan right up. sights. He's going to go past. We go down the straight line. This is so quick. See, it's pure grunt now. There goes Chris down the inside. So he's got him. So we got this is coming on to the last lap now. So this we got a battle for third as well. Daz has still got it. Chris is trying to come do the waiting game and same for fifth, sixth, and seventh. But we've got to stay on board. We've got to stay on board with the leaders. Into the last lap we go. Chris is leading, but he hasn't shaken Matt off. Matt is sitting right behind him. Let's have a look at the fuel. Oh, wrong way. So the fuel is looking similar for both. In fact, Chris has probably got a little bit less. Oh, Chris just nudges the wall there. Is that going to give Matt a run as we come up the... Chris is now trying to shake the toe. He knows that Matt's on him and Nissan's fast. What can we do? Can Matt get lined up? Can he get a run into the last into the penultimate corner? Chris is going to cover the inside. Can Matt get it right? And he's just nudged him. He's just nudged him. That might be just enough for Chris. That might be enough for Chris as they come through the last corner. Can Matt get a run as they come out of it? Is Chris going to take it? I think he's got it. I think he's got it. There's not enough room left for Matt to get it. Look at that, Matt. Oh, what a fantastic race between the pair of them. Wow. So something was going on for third. Looks like Chris has broken the toe from Daz. It looks like he's going to get third, so what a great finish for Chris, and Daz gets a brilliant fourth. And then we've got Mike. Mike has managed to get past Harry, but I think again there was a little Mike has run out of fuel, so let's make sure we don't miss the ending of this. So here comes Dan, and Jimmy is about to finish as well. Wow, I'm out of breath after that. That was incredible. What a finish between first and second and third and fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. It was so close. So let's take a breath and have a look at the leaderboard. So a fantastic win from Chris. He didn't gamble. He was saving fuel though. He did a great job saving fuel. Matt took a gamble of trying to eke his tyres out, which it looked a reasonable gamble because they weren't that worn before he stopped. Didn't quite pay off, but look, so Chris wins by 96 thousandths of a second. That is incredible. And we look at the fastest laps as well. Chris did a 42.906 and Matt did a 42.939. Nothing between them. Fantastic race between the pair of them. I think Chris will enjoy that one because I think probably Matt was the favourite in the stronger Nissan, so great drive by the pair of them. And Chris Lewis, good third for him. Looked like that Beamer was gonna line him up, but he finishes third, and Daz fourth. You can see the lap times. Look, they're all 42 nines or 43 dead, so close. So Mike finishes fifth out of fuel, but I think there was a block right on the line that the stewards deemed was a bit too aggressive, so actually Harry finishes fifth again, a good fifth from Harry. Mike drops down to sixth, but again a fantastic race between those two. Alex had a good race in seventh, much more competitive. Dan dropped off a little bit. I think his gamble didn't quite pay off. He finishes eighth, and then Jimmy in ninth. As we said, Chris gets the fastest lap as well, so not only did he beat Matt by less than a tenth of a second, but he also got fastest lap by 33 thousandths of a second, so phenomenally close between all the drivers. That was fantastic. Hope you enjoyed watching that as much as I did. That was round 7 of season 5 of the Dunton Technical Centre Championship. We now head to Suzuka for round 8, which should be interesting. Complete, you can get a more polar opposite track to the ovals. Where it'll be the usual Group 3s and Group 4s. That will be actually taking place on Thursday, so there'll be a broadcast hopefully soon on that. So hope you enjoyed that. I've got to say, please hit like and subscribe, and catch out the action when we next broadcast. So thank you for watching. We will see you again soon.